will continue until every video is released. And once it's all over, the uploads will come to a stop for an entire month, as I will be occupied with real life. And then... Oh, what? You weren't supposed to get out. I was gonna meet you in the room, and we were gonna play a little game.
I knew it was you, you fucking bastard. I fucking knew it was you. I knew all along.
I didn't kidnap you.
You really think you're something, huh? Hiding behind all that shit, doing all these elaborate fucking things, huh? You really think you clever, huh? You really think you clever, huh?
Well, I did orchestrate everything. How did you even get out?
This how? My fucking goddamn hand. I lost my fucking goddamn hand thanks to you. Look at it. It's a stub now. It's a stub now. I had to stop the fucking bleeding because of your bitch ass. I'm gonna fucking strangle you. And I only have one fucking hand now. It's fat. I got this.
Oh. Oh shit. Damn.
Why? God. You think you're funny. You think you're slick. You think you're all that shit, right? You think... There's no more teasers. No more games. No more playing. I ain't playing no more. The games are over. You lost fair and square, and I'm here to beat your ass and finish the job. You're not still here. I'm still here. Oh, I'm still here. Bitch, you've never been here. You're no longer here, bitch. It's over. It's my channel now. Don't you understand that? I run this shit now. I've been running this shit. And no fucking little games of tying me up to a fucking shit, expecting me to cut my hand with a little tiny ass fucking knife. You really expected me to do that shit? Well, I did that shit. I hope you're proud. I'll just fucking grow back the next video anyway. Here's what we're gonna do. You're gonna stop. You're gonna give up. Surrender.
But...
And that's gonna be the last of you.
But...
And if it's not the last of you, I'll make this the last of you. You understand?
Yes, Rex.
As a matter of fact, let's face the facts. I will always give you a reality check, boy. If you can't handle that, I'll beat you with a baseball bat. Actually, you know what? I'll just beat you with this. How you doing? Today I'm gonna be booking Saw 10. Now the thing is, there's actually a Saw 10 movie coming out, but it's gonna be an Inter-prequel. Now if you don't know what an Inter-prequel is, it's essentially a prequel movie, but it's set in between two different movies. So it's set in between, like, perhaps the original movie and then one of the sequels in between there, and it's a prequel to a sequel. And whilst, you know, it's nice and all to go back to the classic John Kramer tale and all shit, I feel like we should be moving on. I feel like we should end this franchise once and for all, that this series needs to be just finished. Just hits one home run and then that's it. Because Saw has ran its course for way too fucking long, and I think we need to put a stop. So this video is essentially going to be me booking what I think should have been the final movie in the franchise, the true Saw 10, the finale. And we're going to get to that right now. To start it up, I think that the focus of this movie should be bringing all the pieces together, which includes the spin-off movies. Now, the spin-off movies, Jigsaw and Spiral, they're mediocre at best. They're aight. They ain't too good, but they also ain't terrible. However, they didn't really serve a big purpose in the overall narrative of the Saw universe. The Spiral movie doesn't have enough charisma to take off into its own series, and Jigsaw was just bland. It just goes back to the same trope of, oh, John Kramer had another secret apprentice, and it's just like, nobody cares about that shit anymore. So I think that if we were going to do a Saw 10, we were going to end it all. We were going to end Spiral, we're going to end Jigsaw, and we're going to end the original 7 films once and for all. And how I would do that is essentially, I'm going to run you through it right now. So the movie Saw 10, I would have it start with like some kind of underground sewer worker. And essentially he's going to be going through the tunnels, doing some work in the power plant, and then he's going to stumble across either Tap's dead body, which I don't believe the games are canon, so I think that Tap's dead body would be down there, or he's going to stumble across the dry blood trail that leads straight to the bathroom. Now if he finds the bathroom, I think that he should find all the dead bodies in there. He sees Hoffman is confirmed to be dead. I think that it would be better if Hoffman was dead. That way that Saw 1 through 7 feels like it was the true conclusion for that little timeline, and if you want to continue further with Jigsaw and Spiral, then this is how it would go. Now, of course, the worker would be fucking terrified. I mean, when you come across that many dead bodies in some place like that, he's gonna call up the police, and once he calls out the police are gonna come through. They're going to find the bodies too, they're going to pack them up, and then the police are going to go further on. Like some of the police officers are going to go further on, and they're going to go into the coffin room. They're going to find the coffin, they're going to find how it's still a little bit bloody from Strom's death, and then they're going to fall into the trap. And then the opening is essentially the coffin room triggers, and the cops get squished to death. And I think that'd be a great little opening for the finale, is that this is it. This is the ultimate finale, Saw X. And you know who it's going to revolve around? The sewer worker. Yes, the worker that you were introduced to is going to be the main focus of the story. So now, this character is going to be a little traumatized, a little fucked up. I mean, he found some dead bodies, and now some cops were killed because of him. He feels like he has all that pressure on him, and now he feels like he's going to get hunted by whoever killed all those dead bodies. And soon enough, that's exactly what happens. The main character eventually does get put into a test, into a game, into a saw trap. And whilst in the trap, he's panicking, he's going crazy, but the thing about this trap is that it's an unwinnable trap. However, before his death, somebody saves his life, and it's another pig head, and it's none other than Dr. Gordon. Dr. Gordon comes in and he saves the worker from meeting an unfortunate ending. So then Dr. Gordon pulls him in and tells him what's going on. Dr. Gordon essentially tells him that he's not the one running the games, but rather somebody else is, and it's somebody who John Kramer also worked with. His name is Logan Nielsen. Now, Logan has been dormant for a long time until he started doing some games recently, and Dr. Gordon, he doesn't really like Logan all that much because Logan is going against John's will, and he's killing out of vengeance rather than rehabilitate people. And so now Dr. Gordon is essentially telling the worker, like, be careful, I'll keep watch of you, and if anything goes wrong, trust me, we got it covered. And he says we because there is more than one person, but that's going to be the twist later. Dr. Gordon essentially is working on Team Good to help the sewer worker and to help Jigsaw's message get across without purposefully killing people unintentionally, you know? Or for murder, for that matter, anyway. So now the main Jigsaw for the movie is Logan. He's the main antagonist, and the focus is that Logan is a rogue Jigsaw apprentice who's going around testing a bunch of people out of vengeance, everyone who's spited him, and he's doing it because he thinks that it's the best for what Kramer would want, but in reality it's not. But he's not the only one going around making Jigsaw games, oh no. Another motherfucker's also making games, and his name is William Shank, or whatever the fuck his name was. It's the motherfucker that was revealed to be the Spiral killer, and he's making games too, but his games are based around the cops, which is what's making this very interesting, is that when the sewer worker is going to try and tell the cops about what's going on, the cops get tested by William. So now it's like, okay, I can't go to the cops, I can't fucking get this Jigsaw killer Logan out of my back because I survived a game I was not supposed to survive. And Dr. Gordon, you know, Dr. Gordon's being hunted by Logan now. Logan is like on Dr. Gordon's trail, he's gonna get him one day. So the worker has to think about what he's gonna do. So he decides to hire a private detective, and who else would it be other than Zeke from Spiral. Zeke is a little fucked up after his dad got fucked over and after he messed up and let William go. So now his focus in his game is that he's out to protect his son because he feels like his son is going to be the next target for William, that William's gonna try and take his son and raise his son to be like the next big Jigsaw killer. And so when this worker meets up with Zeke and this worker form a bond and they form a friendship. So now Zeke and the worker are working together, they're trying to take down all these Jigsaw killers, but at the same time these Jigsaw killers are trying to take down each other without even realizing it. So whilst William is trying to get down the cops, Logan is trying to get down the people. So now it's like a battle for conflict of who's the real Jigsaw, who's the bigger threat, who's getting what, because Sewer Worker is being targeted by Logan, that Jigsaw killer, but Zeke is being targeted by William. So now it's like back and forth. Which one should we go for? Which one should we do? And eventually it's going to culminate in a lot of crazy shit. Of course, there's going to be a lot of games. There's going to be a lot of traps. There's going to be a lot of testing. And you're also going to see Logan eventually get to Dr. Gordon. He's going to kill Dr. Gordon on his own. And he's also going to test some of the main characters, including Zeke and the Worker again. But this time, the Worker survives because Zeke has to try and protect his son by any means necessary, and I think it would be fitting if Zeke dies in the movie trying to save his son, and that the Worker is now trying to protect his son from William. So the first Jigsaw killer is taken down. It's William. Now, I do want to mention that at some point in time, it's revealed that William was the pickup driver for Eleanor at the end of the Jigsaw movie, and it was him all along. And when he was talking with Eleanor and he was discussing about Jigsaw and all that shit, because Eleanor is a big fan, that's how William Shank got into this whole Jigsaw mantra to begin with. You know, he was fucked over because his dad got fucked over by a cop, and then him and Eleanor were having that talk, and they got together and they're like, you know what, yeah, I am going to become a Jigsaw killer. So then Eleanor is kind of like the key to everything. The key between Logan, the key between William, and that's how we get William and Logan to battle each other and conflict. Now you got two Jigsaw killers trying to go at each other. And there's a lot more games and a lot more tests. Eleanor is tested, she fails. William is brought to justice or probably dies as well in a test. And Logan should be the last man standing because he has all the training, he has all the military shit, and he's also a doctor, and he should know and understand how all this shit works. So then, of course, the Worker, the sewage worker, works to try and trap and to trick Logan that, oh, he's been reshaped, I'm gonna help you, Logan, and all this shit. But in reality, the sewer worker got the detectives from the previous movies, because the detectives from the previous movies are the main detectives that were trying to track down the Jigsaw killers, and that is the one from Jigsaw, and you also have the one from Saw 4, which I think his name was like Fritz or Fisk or something like that. And now they're trying to get down Logan too, but Logan tries to escape. He's like, nah, I'm gonna kill the police force. He kills all the detectives like Hoffman style, but this time it's more of an action type of style, you know, like Saw ending, final climax, action-y type of shit. And then we reach the end of the film, where Logan, he's trying to escape, but the sewage worker has other plans, and the worker manages to call in Dr. Gordon's backup plan. Dr. Gordon's backup plan shows up, and it turns out that the two pig heads that were with Dr. Gordon that night in Saw 7 were actually Daniel and Corbett. Daniel from Saw 2, who was Eric's son, and Corbett from Saw 3, who was Jeff's daughter. And they were working alongside Dr. Gordon this whole time, in case that something like this was to happen, in case some crazy shit was to go, and they were going to be the final nail in the coffin. Alright, we're ending the legacy of Jigsaw right now. No more games, no more playing, it ends tonight. Logan is done. And so now we have one final ending with Logan being tested and failing his game, with Daniel, Corbett, and the sewer worker giving the final game over. And that is the end of the franchise. That is exactly how I would end the franchise. How about y'all? What are y'all thoughts on Saw 10? What are y'all thoughts on the Saw franchise? What you think would have been nice? What you think would have been better? Me personally, I always believed that Saw 3 should have been it. And if they were going to make a Saw 4, then they should have made it in a finale type of style. But it is what it is. This is how I would have booked a Saw 10. Not sure how you would. But of course, let me know in the comments, and arrivederci, bitch ass motherfuckers.